Hello everyone, it's CMAC here. Today I want to talk about why I read 80 books in business and finance as a software engineer and why is it so important for you to do the same thing. Back in year 2000, I was working on web technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, learning SQL Server 2000, and I would just stay up late night and start building things, with all these technologies all the time. Well, at that time, I realized that if I learn everything about technology, I will be able to achieve all my goals in life and build awesome companies and businesses. However, up to my 30s, that's the path I took, and I just worked different jobs and learned about technology on my own, built different web applications, tried different things, but I realized that something is lacking here, right? And that was basically the moment I started thinking about, okay, so what do I need to learn in order to achieve all my goals in life? Well, as a software engineer, you might be thinking, okay, I only need to be good in programming and, just be able to build whatever I want to build. Yes, that's of course part of it. As a software engineer, you want to be able to build things, but there are other skills that you still need to learn and practice on a daily basis before going to the next step in your life. And I'm going to tell you what I experienced personally and why I did it and how I did it. Throughout your life, you will see people, a lot of successful people, and those successful people, they might sound, they're lucky people, and but in my opinion, that's not the case. A lot of those people, they worked hard really throughout their lives, and you'll just see the tip of the iceberg, and you don't see the entire years and years in experience and failure. They're very good listeners. Usually, all the successful people are really good listeners because you learn when you listen, right? You don't talk too much, and talking too much, it's probably the worst thing you can do because you give yourself no chance to learn. All those people, they have a different mindset about life. They see failure as a place where they can start their success, and they're not afraid of failure. They actually become very, very happy when they fail because they know they're doing something wrong and they need to change. They're not stick only to one mindset that, okay, this is how we've done it and this is how I'm going to do it again. If you repeat the same thing over and over, you're going to get the probably same result, plus minus 10%. So up to my 30s, I really thought I only need to learn about programming and how to build awesome websites or apps or whatever, and then I'll be set for life. Up to my 30s, that was my mindset. And then I realized, okay, I need more education in business, in finance, and probably a few more things, human behavior, communication, skills like that, that majority of software developers, myself included, they might sound, awkward people or socially isolated, just, coding all day. But these days, world is really evolving. Everything is changing, and you need a lot of skills in order to be really, really successful. If you're a software engineer and you're only focused on your technical skills, I want to, ask you to stop for a moment and think about the things that you need to improve on. So these are the things that I found at that time in my 30s that I need to work on and I need to improve on. And I'm going to tell you about them one by one. The first one was business. Well, you learn all these technologies to do what with it? To build something that's useful for humanity, that's useful for society, that can create value, right? You're not just learning these because you want to look smart, right? And this is the concept that you need to understand. You need to understand how businesses work, how they cash flow, how they, survive, how they, all the rules and things about, a successful business. Once you learn that, then you realize there's a lot of things that you're missing right now as a software engineer. Usually engineers start from a product and they go back to the market. two people, they meet. Oh, I have this awesome idea. I think this app is going to make a lot of money. It's like, what is it? Oh, I'm going to build this awesome whatever social media app. Yeah, let's do it. So they start investing, 6 months or a year of their life on a thing that they don't know if people want, right? So usually engineers, they start with product, they go to market, which is a wrong approach. In business world, you learn that you have to start with market and then go to the product. You have to see what market wants and then pivot as needed. Build things that actually make value and people are looking for. This is the art of running a business, right? Even if you are a very very smart, programmer, that's not enough to make you successful. And let me tell you about something about being smart and very cool in programming and software engineering. Well, there's a mindset that people think, okay, programmers are really smart people, and if I don't have the courage, or I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the time, I don't know if I'm smart enough to start programming. Well, this is not quite right, because the first mindset, which is a fixed mindset, and which basically people think they're born with high IQ, level of IQ, and this is it. If they're stuck at something, they're not going to be able to be successful in that field, and so they give up, right? The second one is the people who think, okay, I failed, or I need to improve on my skill, but they keep going, they keep pushing, and they go beyond their comfort zone. They try different things, they fail, and they learn, and they again they move on until they succeed. So consistency and persistence beats everything, right? And you have to learn, you have to understand, if you're not good at one thing, that doesn't mean that you cannot improve on, right? So this is basically the mindset you need in these days. And you need to understand there's a lot of competition. Companies are innovating so fast. Small people, teams, they come up with a great idea and they create a disruptive technology for a lot of big companies, and they basically take the majority of the market. So that's why you need to understand business side of the technology in order to make money, because at the end of the day, we have to make money, so we have more time to spend on things that actually matters, and we don't have to be worried about money. The second thing is financial education and having a good understanding about your personal finance. If you're not comfortable with concepts of like budget and how to plan your future, how to invest, how to manage your money, these are the skills that are very necessary for every single person in this world. And unfortunately, we don't get a lot of education when we go to school. If we grow up with a lot of questions in head, and nobody actually gives us enough education about finance and how to manage your personal finance. So these are the two things that you definitely have to spend time and learn about it. As I said, investment is another thing that you need to understand, how to create cash flow, how to create pipelines to generate money. You need to understand about passive incomes, how passive incomes work, and without you doing the work, you have a machine that basically generates money for you, so you can focus on things that actually matter in your life. The next skill that you need to learn is actually communication. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to communicate. They see everything, black and white, especially programmers and software engineers. This is the really, really, important skills that all of us need, because, communication is the, basically cornerstone of any interaction. If you're working in a company that you're having trouble with other people, you cannot understand their points, you don't let them talk, you just talk all the time, these are the bad signs. You need to value people's opinion, you need to be a good listener, you need to learn how to find friends, how to find influence people. You need to value people's opinion. You don't have to make them feel bad about themselves. And these are the things that they might sound very basic, but unfortunately a lot of people still struggling in their 50s, 60s, 40s. I've seen really, really well educated, talented people, but they don't have communication skills, and that's the very, very important skill that you need to achieve in your life if you want to be successful. And the last one that I really think that will change your life, it's basically working on your mindset. Um, I've seen a lot of people. They have a lot of money, but they're miserable. They don't know what they're doing in in this world. And this is the thing that you need to think about. You need to think about your purpose. Why I'm programming? Why am I, doing this? Why am I doing that? So if you don't find your why, if you don't find your, purpose, everything just will be surrounded, with very shallow concepts, right? You start following money, and then you achieve that level of success that you think, okay, I'm still not happy and I'm looking for something bigger. That comes from the point that you haven't been able to find your purpose in life. So grow your mindset, change your mindset, be open minded, right? If someone is giving you feedback, listen to them and don't just jump into conclusion. You might be thinking, okay, I'm a software engineer. I want to spend my time, on just building things. And that is completely fine. You can just, stay software engineer for the rest of your life and be employed by a company. And there's nothing wrong with it. We don't need a lot of entrepreneur actually in this world. Actually, we do. That was a joke. So if that's your mindset, is that's your goal in life, and what by all means follow it and keep going. Good luck to you, and I value your decision because you know what you want in life. But if you really want to build a business, if you really want to grow and go beyond your existing situation, you need to listen to me, and you need to start reading about business, personal finance, and of course communication, psychology, how people react to things, how to deal with difficult people, how to deal with difficult financial situation. These are the things that you need to know and understand if you are going to run your own business, right? Especially in software engineering. Well, you might be saying, okay, I don't have time to read all these 80 books that you've read, CMAC. So what's the solution? Well, I give you one plan, basically. Then you can do the same thing very easily. So what I did, I looked at my schedule. I'm like, okay, I have no time to read all these books. So how do I do that? But then I realized I commute around, I don't know, 50 to an hour a day. So back and forth between work, office, and home, right? So let's say an hour. That's your driving. In a lot of cities, people might actually drive a lot more than that. Well, that's a time that you're listening to radio. That's a time that you are basically wasting, right? In traffic, you're sitting there. You're not doing anything special. That's the time that you can use to listen to audible or audiobooks. Anything that's that you want to learn about. If you want to learn about business, you can just sign up easily and get an Audible account. It's $15. It's the best investment that I've ever done in my life, right? $15 a month, and then you can listen to a book while you're driving. That's what I did. I've been listening to Audible for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and all the other resources that are available to you. One of them is Audible, but I was able to finish 80 books only on Audible. That's just Audible part, and learn about business and finance and a lot of different things. Of course, before that, I started by just reading, but then later I decided to just listen to audiobooks while I'm driving. That's a time that I can invest in myself. I can learn more about business and learn about other people's experience and learn how they have done it so I can follow them. Again, it goes back to the point that you need to be a good listener, right? If you are not used to listening, you are gonna struggle. You're not gonna know a lot of things in your life, right? So the best way to learn is to listen or read. Well, this is how I've done it. In the next video, I want to actually share with you things that I've learned from those 80 books. I'm going to put the list, in the description in the next video, not this one. And so you guys can, actually go ahead and take a look at those books, learn from them, learn about businesses, learn about finance, learn about, mindset, learn about people, communication, and how to live your life. So I hope this video was useful. And again, as a software engineer, you need a lot of skills. It's not only about knowing how to code in JavaScript or how to build a website or how to deploy your infrastructure to cloud. It's technology is of course part of it, as in it's a big part of any successful entrepreneur in technology. But there's a lot of skills that you still need to learn and keep learning. I hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.